Hey everybody, it's episode 18 of season 6 of The Flash. This month, all my full-length reactions on Patreon will be free for everybody. So if you want to check that out now, you can. If not, I'll include all the good stuff in the YouTube edit. So last time we had... What do we have? We have episode focused heavily on the mirror stuff, and Eva finally fulfilling her plan to break out. So she's out, and she seems to have, she still has mirror powers in the real world, and she can kind of hop from mirror to mirror, and, and instead of using that power to make millions and to live happily on a, desert island with lots of mirrors, she's just going to, kill her husband or something like that. Show him who's boss. She's got a real vendetta out for him, so she didn't want Barry getting in the way of that. So she took him out of the picture by getting him to use up all his speed. But she didn't want to kill him. She could have killed him when she came out of the mirror in that last episode, but she was like, no, it's not. Stay out of my way, Barry, and Iris will be safe and all that stuff. Speaking of Iris, she is still in the mirror world, but now she has a mission to go find Camilla and Singh, who are just, hanging out there, living their own lives. Are there only 3 people in that entire world? Because I used to ask in previous episodes, what does Iris do with her days? Is she eating? Is there food in that world? So I presume this episode will have at least some of her mission to find them, and then they have to find the way to get out. Which might be easier now that Eva is not there, keeping them there. I don't know. Fake Camilla is dead. Fake Singh is still alive, I think. Yeah. Cisco and Ralph went to check in on Caitlin, and she was she has some sort of sickness. So they have to go to her mother to see what's up, see how we can fix it. So that could be the other plot, the B plot, or maybe the A plot. And Harry wasn't in last week's episode much, or at all. Can't think. And Ramsey is still in the background. He was going to be let out, and then he went back into his prison. He was like, "It's okay. I'm cool here. I've just kind of sent my blood out into the world. No big deal." So I presume he'll come back into it by the end of the season, and his plans will be more apparent by then. But until that happens, we've got another episode to check out with mirror shenanigans and frosty shenanigans. I can't guarantee that there will be any shenanigans in this, but it could be. We still have a little bit of Sue's storyline to work out too. She gave Ralph a diamond or something. She said, "Look into it." Nope.
Dad should do this way more often.
Have to go soon. We to keep our family safe.
You're okay, Joe. It's just witness protection. It's not the end of the world.
Hands up!
Hey, Barry. How'd you find me?
Jesus out of me.
He's just there to tell Joe about Iris being in the...
Wally warned me that something was off with Iris.
Oh yeah, Wally was perceptive about that.
I know it wasn't her, but before it happened, she seemed so...
Alive?
alive. Almost like she was really back.
Oh my God, we have to warn David's husband.
I've been living with some
yeah.
copy of Camilla. For all we know, they're dead already.
They're not.
Hello? What do you want me to say?
Anything! That we have a plan! I don't have a plan, Cisco. She's faster than I am, and somehow I'm supposed to stop her? I still hope to God that Iris and everybody else are still alive in a world that we don't even understand!
Barry?
Hey, you're both right. We need to work the problem, not tear each other down.
Right now, I'm gonna work on the artificial speed force. There's no point in finding Eva if I'm useless against her.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense. He just wants to get his power back so that he can be fully
I
effective.
read it. I'm leaving this here for you in case you find it. But don't find me. Barry, I will always be with you.
How dumb am I, huh?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Who's this? Hello. Seems friendly. Is that Godspeed?
I'm not impressed.
Nice. This is sudden.
I was looking for a reason to test out this pulse cannon.
Remember the start of the season when they had all those Godspeeds? Or was that mid-season? It was something. It was weird.
Do you not happen to have protective protocols for this place?
Do not put this on me. You do it.
Everybody can break into Star Labs.
Are you doing anything else? What?
Stop!
What?
Give it
Everybody's just fighting in this episode.
a... Cisco, you're the Schmiancy guy. Must have some kind of a plan, right?
Do you mean sciencey? Why did he say it that way?
And use them to extract speed from a speedster.
How do we stop?
He's not going to get much from
really
Barry.
deep. I know who could help us. Hartley.
Hey, remember Hartley?
Rathaway.
Is he evil or good now?
It turns out that he hates the Flash even more post-crisis. Only
One of them tried to shoot at you.
Ooh.
You countered with a lightning bolt. That lightning collided with the weapon's blast.
What happened?
Turns out that was Hartley's right-hand man.
Okay.
fraud.
It's weird, like it's like
Being held
the
in
past
Mercury
isn't
Labs. Apparently it's
what we think it is.
keeping him from...
I got your text. Are you okay? Is the wound getting worse?
Ralph, I'm fine.
She's just reading. Did we skip over all
What's
the
the emergency?
seeing her mother thing?
And your mom is the expert on all things ice, so she'll patch up that wound of yours, and then we can pick up where
Okay,
we left off.
we haven't seen her yet.
Why don't you just tell me what's really bothering you?
I'm fine. Just stop trying to smell a mystery or whatever.
Too late. Why don't you want to see Carla?
Because she's not my mom. She's Katie's.
And you're an equal member of Team Flash, just like Caitlin.
That talk. I just see them all as the one person now. I feel like we're taking a little bit of a step back with her storyline. You know, we'll see.
Hello, Flash.
We're just here to talk, partly.
Something wrong with your speed?
You spotted that?
Sorry, I think I can help Broderick.
Ooh.
Thought I could stabilize these molecules with my sonics, but
He's just like vibrating. Seems painful.
Mercury Labs.
Hey, you remember
Harrison Wells.
one of the Welleses?
Nash Wells, actually. There was this big event we call it Crisis. and
He's his twin.
He's my twin.
It's a big family. There's like,
We think that they
15 of
actually
us?
blew away.
hey, she found her.
You're the one who sent me here. Whoever she was, that was not me, I swear. Tell me something only the real Iris would know. Cisco is the love of your life.
That's an easy one.
I gathered all the items that the Miragun sent here. I've been analyzing them for clues, but the data keeps getting all wonky. when I
She's
try to
super
see the
tech
screen.
wizard.
Condition that affects our minds in this mirrorverse. We shouldn't be here. We should not be here. I should not be here.
Camilla has to talk her around so we
much
can
has
get out of there.
Star Labs. Still keeping mediocre engineers around, I see.
Plus, we just walked through the front door and nobody stopped us.
Or as you would say, vibes. Oh, please. That hair, dead giveaway.
Yeah.
You too, Flash. Stay. What I don't get is why you need a machine when you could just use your damn vibes. Unless you can't vibe anymore. You lost your meta mojo.
Everybody's losing their mojo, including Caitlin and...
You know, I'm making this so that I can save the person I love the most. The person you love the most is yourself.
And his partner, the henchman,
Come find me when you're
who he's
ready.
probably in love with. I think Ralph is the only person whose powers haven't...
Here's what I need from you.
Fritz.
I need you to direct a concentrated UV blast. Good.
Oh, and
This
Allegra.
contain-
Do your thing, Legger.
One.
And that would explain why Hartley cares so much about this guy. He's not just a henchman.
I was stupid for trusting you.
Velocity
for your city, Hello.
You have 1 hour. You're what I want.
The problem with Godspeed is that he's just been thrown in here as like a C plot. There's no real threat from him in our minds because we haven't seen him do anything evil.
I'm working on the artificial speed force right now.
I'm too busy drawing cool little diagrams right now. Ash.
You could talk to Joe and Iris, but they're not here. Whose fault is that?
That's mine, all right?
What?
I'm supposed to lead this team. I don't even know what to tell them.
All you have to do is trust yourself.
How am I supposed to do that? I just lived with an imposter for 5 weeks.
Forgive yourself.
Oh, he's at an insight.
I know why Hartley's world is over.
Barry has figured out something that may or may not have been obvious.
Whoa, hey.
I shouldn't laugh, but this entire episode is like a series of pep talks.
I want to believe I'm making the right decisions. And all I can think about is the hero I used to be.
That was you, Cisco. It's all still inside you.
Camilla did not fall in love with your powers. She fell in love with you.
Yeah. These are unnecessary pep talks. In previous seasons, previous stories, Cisco would have just been working on it and come up with some solution. But in this season, we have to have this whole big conversation about him losing his mojo, and the same with the Barry and the Nash scene, just pointless.
And how did I let that happen? My skill as a reporter is being able to see
This-
the truth.
and this scene.
Eva proved to me that I can't trust my instincts or myself.
And the Frost and
You
Ralph
weren't the only
scene.
one she tricked. Don't beat yourself up for not being perfect. But if you want to escape, you have to trust yourself again. So,
Chief Singh,
Yeah. Can we find him?
we should find him.
He's probably in his house at the station.
He's not just another hired gun, is he?
You think?
He's my boyfriend. He was better off at Mercury Labs than with me. I was useless.
What is this episode?
Can't find the strength to move forward and forgive ourselves.
Hey, we got a big problem at Iron Heights.
Hey, something's
We can stay
happening.
here.
Is it Godspeed doing? Just setting everybody free? Oh, all the Godspeeds are dead.
He took all their speed.
You have 1 minute, Flash. After that, someone dies.
I have to stop him.
He's like budget Zoom.
Look, I have enough speed left to do this. Even if I don't, I have to try.
What are we? Ooh, what's going on here?
Speed is my responsibility.
Oh, he's listening.
Time's up, Flash.
You have to catch me first.
Hey, old school race. Chase.
Moving faster than you, but I know this city better than him.
We just take little shortcuts. That's not a shortcut, Barry. Got him.
You are pathetic. You don't deserve the speed you were given.
Hardly? Hardly. Bit of help from old friends.
I didn't think you were coming. I didn't save you so we could chat.
That's your backup.
How did Hartley get there?
Now you'll feel the real power of speed.
Careful the cloud, you know who's up there. Exactly. And he'll be all
They cross streams.
Ghostbusters. Glad to see that survived post-crisis.
I haven't seen that one before.
What is that? Speed blood? Can we use it? Can we harness it?
I believe we found the solution we're looking for.
Can we save, what's his face?
If you hurt him, I'll hurt you.
Ready?
That was unnecessary, Hartley, but understood. He's back. You have to give up this
Get rid of that.
life of crime and go to Tahiti.
Flash, you.
He helped bring you back.
Why are you looking at this dude? Who's
You
he?
got some space. That's not the real Godspeed.
What?
All he could say was, the one who sent me wants infinite velocity.
Okay, next season.
Godspeed, he said,
next season. We have too much to deal with in this season.
A diploma?
Congratulations on graduating life coach school.
She graduated from the school of Ralph.
I was 10 when my dad walked out on Mom and me.
Future story.
She'll see me for who I really am.
You are one awesome human being.
She can just show her diploma, and her mother will.
That's why you're ready to graduate.
Accept her.
We lost everything when we lost each other. Thank you for not giving up. You gave us back us.
We kind of forgot you existed until we needed you, but
we both do.
No problem. No problem.
You have to do more than just forgive yourself. You have to believe that your world can change.
Thank you.
Thanks for reminding me.
Thanks for the pep talk.
Like everything that matters has already been taken.
We still have each other.
In our life. And look around this room. We still have our faith in each other.
Yeah.
This is what we'll never lose.
We need a lossless, self-sustaining source of perpetual energy.
A perpetual motion machine.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
We're just missing one component, and they know exactly where to find it. Atlantis.
A fun side journey with Cisco going to Atlantis? Oh yeah, we haven't actually seen Eva this episode. Oh, wait a second, what?
I'm coming for you, Joseph.
She's just taking a nap in an oxygen chamber to get her strength back? What was that about? Where did she... What happened there? What an episode of The Flash. Sometimes the balance between the drama and the action and the talks, there's a nice little mixture of it. This episode, it seemed very heavily weighted towards the pep talks. It seemed like everybody was having doubts about themselves and everybody had to be talked around. In the mirror world, Iris losing her focus, and then she was having doubts about herself, and Camilla had to give her a little talk. Caitlin, or Frost, didn't want to go to her mother because she didn't feel like her mother would accept her. So Ralph had to try and talk her around, tell her how great she was. Then finally came through in the end with his little diploma. That was funny. There's so many conversations that I felt were just rehashing stuff that we'd already done in previous episodes, or even in this one single episode. Nash and Barry, had a little argument that seemed a bit out of place. He was like, Iris and Camilla are gone. Who's to blame, Flash? Clearly, Barry is not to blame for that. Iris was just grabbed into a mirror. Camilla was shot with a mirror gun. There's not much Barry could have done. Maybe he could have seen fake Iris for who she was before she shot Camilla, but he couldn't have done anything about Iris getting snapped, except for lock her in their apartment and never let her live her life. Cisco was having a little meltdown, and we're retreading that he doesn't feel like he's without his powers. Maybe he's not as great as he once was, and Cecile had to get him back in the game. Hartley was moping about. Barry had to give him a little bit of a pep talk. And then at the end, Hartley gives Barry another pep talk. We just seem to be jumping from scene to scene to scene. Just people... I don't know. It was strange. It was like they didn't have much story to go with this episode, so they had to fill a lot of time. And then at the end, Barry gives a rousing speech. We're a team. Nothing can stop us. But he's given that speech so many times that it's like they don't remember hearing it before, And there was a lot of bickering as well in this episode. People pointing fingers and blaming, and just didn't feel natural, like a natural progression from what had come before. And the Godspeed stuff was hilarious. They haven't set that guy up at all. They threw in a couple of his copies previously, at least one. They threw in one copy earlier in the season. Barry easily took care of him, and there was like a throwaway comment about there being 3 others. And it was never really mentioned again. And then this one shows up, and he's all like, I'm going to take your speed, and you have until this time, or I'm going to start killing people. It's like, dude, we've got a mirror person, we've got Ramsey, we've got everybody's having issues with themselves. Could you just take a seat, take a ticket? But they took care of it in the end of the episode. But it feels like maybe they're building to something else, because they treated this version of Godspeed as kind of a joke in this episode, and it turned out he wasn't the real one. So maybe when they eventually, finally show the real one, maybe there'll be a bigger story, with more weight to it and more solid foundation, so that we can actually take it seriously. And actually, thinking about this episode, thinking about last episode, and what happened in this one, it feels like this was kind of a standalone episode, that we could have skipped this one and just gone to the next one. Because in the last one we were talking about, Caitlin's having problems, she needs to go to her mother. And in this episode I expected them to have gone there, or to be going there, and she's just still sitting on that sofa. In the last episode, Eva broke out of the mirror, and we're like, okay, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? And in this episode, she comes out of a chamber. Nothing has progressed there. In the last episode, Iris is like, gotta find Camilla and sing. Now in this episode, she did find Camilla, so that is something that happened that's significant. But now they're off to find Sing. Yeah, I don't know. I found the episode kind of funny, kind of fillery, kind of annoying in places. And I know you probably shouldn't say that in a reaction video, that you found something annoying, but it just didn't do it for me this week. Last week's episode was much better, and this week's one was just a lot of moping about and people retreading a lot of story that they've already been through. That didn't feel very natural. Like, sure, everybody's just found out that their loved ones are in the mirror world. Well, at least Cisco did. Cisco and Barry. But, I don't know. Sometimes you watch something and it just doesn't work for you, and that was me this episode. So, if you enjoyed me bashing the episode for no good reason and ruining your day, then join me back here next week when we will have another. I'm looking forward to next week, because I feel like we will have more stuff to do, and we will see what happens, see where they're going with this season. But yeah, this one felt like they were just passing time. So a show that doesn't pass time, or does nothing but pass time, Legends of Tomorrow, is up next. I'll be watching that in about 5 minutes. So if you like that show, join me back here. And I don't know when I'll be uploading this and when I'll be uploading that, but yeah, I'll see you there. And if not, I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. See you next time.